Greetings, happy people, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Guitar Great Show. I hope this show gives you some great dialogue. You are inspired to take calculated risk, evaluate your limiting beliefs, and live a God-filled purpose life. So without further ado, let's get right into this. My guest is Jazmine Echols, the Jazmine Echols, and we have so much to talk about. So thanks for joining in. All right, Miss Jazz, can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, the woman that you are, who and what has shaped you into the gracious leader, fierce woman that you are?
Of course I can. So I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. I was raised in Michigan. I actually moved back to Memphis during the 5th grade. Who I am today, I'm a believer and follower of Christ. I am a wife and I have 3 beautiful daughters whom I love and I adore. I'm also an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I am the founder of In Eve's Garden and I own Grace Lane's Dispatching and Logistics.
All right now. Were y'all ready for this? Say it again. Grace Lane. Tell us again what that is.
Grace Lane's Dispatching and Logistics. And so I own my own dispatching company.
Don't play with her. Play with your friends. Okay, this is my friend, so I can play with my friend. My goodness. So I want you guys to really, for this episode, really sit back, and really just take in all of the great jewels, which is one of her daughter's names, that she's going to really give us, because not only is she an amazing mother and entrepreneur, but she has a pretty incredible story of a blended family as well. So tell us about your life as a single mom and the transition into parenting as a married woman and the mother of 3 blossoming girls.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say at 19 having a baby, that's shocking for anybody. So nothing could have prepared me for that. However, I was very determined not to be a statistic and not to have her nor I labeled as well.
That's
and
good.
so I was in college full time and I was working 2 jobs. And so during that time, I did meet my husband. And I just wanted to make sure that he was serious about what he was getting himself into. But one thing about my family is that we're very, very close-knit. And so we're determined to keep God at the forefront. And that's how we stick together. So our blended family works very well because we don't let anybody outside of our house influence the decisions that we make in our home.
Y'all heard this soft voice, but y'all heard how it changed. Outside of our house. Okay. So what is your advice to a mom that is dating, that has children? What qualities should her suitor have that will make it easier? Or I wouldn't say easy. I guess a better word would be make the transition more seamless into your already existing family. How does that work?
Okay. So first of all, you need to know whether or not he wants to have children. And if he plans on marrying you, we need to find out what his intentions are. Don't bring every Tom, Dick, and Harry around your kid. You can't have men in and out of your kid's life. So that's very important. Find out if he's stable. Does he have a consistent job? Find out, more about his past relationships and his relationships with his family. That's very important. And also find out what his next 5-year goals are. You guys got to be equally yoked. Period.
She said equally yoked. So I want you guys, all the single moms out there, I hope that she shows you that there are men that are willing and that are more than capable of loving and supporting you just the way you are. And now they have a clan of girls, y'all. They're like the girl crew. So
Rodney's a girl dad.
He's a girl dad.
Yeah,
so
he's a girl dad,
Rodney
for sure.
is a girl dad, and he's such a great girl dad because girls are amazing, of course.
Yes.
So
I love my babies.
they're her babies. So can you share with us the inspiration behind your organization? I know that you're a wife and you're a mom. Tell us about your organization in Eve's Garden and kind of what started that.
What really influenced that is my kids. Because I felt alone. In every stage of my life, one was definitely out of wedlock, but the rest of them, I still felt alone. I didn't have that tribe, that community of people that really understood why I was parenting the way that I was, why I made the decisions that I made, why I set the boundaries that I set. People didn't understand that. And I just hate how we have, well, I won't say I hate, but we have more support in other areas like getting your finances together, marriage together, what else out there? Budgeting and entrepreneurship. These are like really, really hot topics out here, but we don't have a lot of people talking about how to build a relationship with your kid and help them to develop a relationship with God at an early age. And so that's what I'm extremely passionate about, is getting that in our kids early.
Oh, wow. She is very passionate about it. Tell us something like, I know that you just referenced where people felt like, hey, I wouldn't do that with my kid. What were some of the boundaries, if you don't mind sharing, that you had set that you knew this is going to produce the fruit I want 10 years from now?
Okay, ask that question again.
So give us an example of what's a boundary that you placed for your daughters that other people may have resisted or said, hey, I wouldn't do that, or I don't support that you feel like was the best decision for them.
Oh my goodness, you're getting in my business, Qatar. You're getting in my business. One that comes to the forefront of my mind, I could talk about other things, but cell phones. Because I think people think because I have a teenager, I should just throw a cell phone in her hand. And I just know my child's not ready to have that type of self-control and discipline that she needs. And that might be okay for your kid, but a lot of people kind of push me on that. And I just let them know, hey, she doesn't have a cell phone because I don't think she needs one at this time. And so that's pretty much how I shut that down. Is I would say, hey, and I'll look at them because they don't even have to direct it to her because that's a lot of pressure. That is something that she's asking me for and that she desires to have because so many kids have it. But I just think that's a bunch of unnecessary pressure and I pay the bill.
And she paid the bill. I think with children, all the kids out there that are listening, and even the parents, having a cell phone is a luxury. We were fine without them. In fact, I think people were happier without them. That's why these children lack interpersonal skills and they don't understand paralanguage because they're not looking at each other. They're not talking to one another. So I second the motion on do what's right for your child. And there are other ways outside of cell phones that they can, we're not saying she doesn't use a phone at all. She can get on her parents. But what we're saying is she does not have one to her at her leisure where she can do whatever she wants.
Another thing that I did, because I didn't want to disregard her feelings and connecting and talking to people on the phone. So I went old school and I got a landline.
She got a landline.
So she can talk on the phone.
Baby, hold on. The woman that got to my dick.
No, not that one.
Okay.
The fresh cordless phone.
Okay, because I said, if you got this one right here, Jazz.
It has caller ID.
Not caller ID. Baby, you know what? But see, this is, no, how do I want to say this? This is what we're talking about when being a parent can be creative and eventful. Y'all, we need to stop being lazy parents. Because it's easy. We're going to pay for it later. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yep.
We're going to pay for it later.
What you were scrolling on, what you were doing, having to do extra work. Again, my opinion, because some people are not checking their kids' devices. You're not seeing what's in their search history, what's been deleted, who they were texting. I mean, because kids are so free with information. They tell people where they are, where they have been. We all on vacation. The house is empty, y'all. They don't know how we're protecting them in that way, and that's okay.
That's okay. We don't hand a knife to a 3-year-old. But when they get older, we say, hey, come cook with me. And then once we are comfortable that they know how to maneuver that instrument, then we can say, go in there and make me something to eat because they have matured and we have been able to oversee it. So how do you, as a mother of 3, how do you ensure each child feels special and secure in their role in the family?
So one of our favorite places to go is Baskin Robbins. Baskin Robbins ice cream. We have it so much, and they are high, but it's well worth it. And so we'll also switch off and let the oldest and the middle child sit in the front seat. We'll have discussion there. Rodney and I will work out with our oldest, so we'll go on walks runs or do workout videos together on YouTube. And we involve them in our family discussions. Like we give them the floor and we'll say, hey, Phoenix, what is it that you want to do today? So they may pick the restaurant or they may just pick the game that we're playing. Also, I make sure that they know that they have our undivided attention. So if another kid wants to, because you know how they are, they all want to speak to mama and, oh, they talking. I want to say something too. Even the 4-year-old, she don't even know what to say half of the time. Hey, I'm talking. And we will say, hey, Phoenix has the floor. Let's not interrupt her. And that makes them feel good. Like, hey, she made everybody give me the attention that I need.
That's so good because children want to be seen and heard.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we evoke that right as their parents with their siblings to let them know that you are valuable. And I can love all three of you all equally, but this is not the appropriate time for you to talk. It's giving them boundaries and it's also validating the others. So I love it. What would you say is the biggest challenge in parenting today?
Number one for me is perversion. Again, kind of ties in with that cell phone situation is that they have access to so much. And now they're even bold enough to put it in front of parent and child.
Yeah.
You know? So I just think it's a lot of stuff that we have in front of our kids is inappropriate. And so that's my number one problem. And with that being said, your kids' friends and the people that they're around are huge influences on your kids. And so I could tell when somebody don't have no home training or, you know, when a mother didn't correct or discipline them in a certain area, as well as the peer pressure. My kids are coming home asking me, why I can't have this, why I can't have that, why I can't do this, why I can't do that. And so I have to have that tough conversation with them about, you know, what we believe in our personal convictions. So that's challenging.
That's good. How do you stay motivated and resist the temptation to compare your parenting to others?
I read my Bible. I pray a lot. I get around other like-minded people as well. I mean, what keeps me encouraged too is when I'll hear a compliment from somebody and they say, man, I appreciate whatever you're doing with your kid. They are well behaved and well-mannered. And so that's a huge compliment to me. I'm like, oh, I must be doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would liken it to God. And when we say we're Christians and that we're a reflection of Him, isn't it the greatest compliment for us to not tell people we're Christian, but that our spirit speaks before we walk?
Yes.
Don't make me preach today. I mean, really, when you walk in, they say it's a glow. It's really just the light of God.
It's something different about you.
It's something different in me.
Yeah.
And so I love that you said that because I think that when parenting, God gave us the perfect template to parenting.
Yes, He did.
He gave us a word, our bylaws, our convictions, and then He gave us His spirit, and then He gave us community. So I just love that you said that. So parents, if you don't like something that your kids are doing, maybe you need to evaluate the company you're keeping.
Yes, that is a huge factor. Another thing is limit the time that you spend with people who challenge your parenting. Because it's going to be conflict. You're going to butt heads. And some of my friends and family members, they do respect my boundaries and others do not. But I can still be cordial. I don't have to push how I parent on you. But when you step into my house, you know, I set this atmosphere. This is my environment. So we're going to respect my space.
Absolutely. I love it. And it doesn't have to be in a harsh, a condescending manner. But I think that that's a area where when you think about the Christian woman or you think about a woman raising her children in a faith-based environment, the media, and I believe, portrays it as these, you know, Bible, like smacking you upside the head. Yes. My child, no, my child can have a meek spirit and a fierce spirit.
I'm loving yet firm. You know, I say that all the time. We're going to set boundaries because we're not, you know, you can't push yourself on people. I respect you and you're going to respect me. It's just as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. I think that me and Jazmine were discussing on the phone yesterday that confidence is quiet and insecurity is loud. So if you're confident in the way you're parenting your child, then you'll be quiet when someone else is giving you an alternative. But when you have all of these concerns, why don't you let that child have that? And why don't you let them do this and that? Then obviously you're insecure about something I'm doing because I'm confident in the way I'm raising my kid. Maybe you should go evaluate what your children are doing. I just want to know a little bit more about your relationship with God, and what is an area that you are struggling in or an area that you think you need to improve in, just as you walk out your life with God.
First of all, I love how God just rewards me. It's so personal, it's so intimate. And other things that I struggle with are trusting him and his instructions. Sometimes I do what God tells me to do, but I won't do it how he tells me to do it.
Oh.
So I'm not fully being obedient because I didn't do everything in its entirety. And so going back to trusting God, sometimes I'm just impatient, especially when it's something that really is important to me. I can get impatient. I'm like, Lord, you got to come on through right now. Right now, because I'm about to mess it up.
Yeah,
you know how we do.
That's how we're going to do.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to do. So tell us how you practice self-care. And I want to challenge, the definition of self-care. Self-care can be nails, hair, and those kind of things. But self-care also can be, how do you maintain your spiritual capacity with the busy life that you have? So I want to know how you define self-care, and then how do you maintain it? What do you do?
I think the definition is in the word self-care, taking care of yourself. Sometimes I can get a moment to myself and find a way how to take care of my husband, how to run an errand, how to go see a friend or something like that. But self-care for me is getting that alone time. And sometimes I will do that with a friend. I will go have a brunch or lunch or, like you said, get nails done. But I like to create a quiet space to get before the Lord. And that sounds crazy because he's still in my presence, although I am by myself. But I love my quiet time with God. I also read books. That quiets my mind because personally, that's just something that I have to work on, is not being so busy, because sometimes you're not just physically busy, but you're busy up here.
That's good.
And you need to rest up here as well. So I work really hard at that. Some people are early morning people. I'm not personally. I will try. However, my quiet time with the Lord is at night. And so that's how I get
self-care. I love that. I love that. So this next segment is so our viewers get to know a little bit more about you. I'll ask you a series of questions, and only you can only give one answer. Okay. And this part of the show is fun and impromptu. They don't know the questions at all. I do, but they don't. Just trying to cheat, y'all.
I can't even see that.
This one
got these legs.
I can't even see that. Okay, greatest singer of all time.
Greatest singer of all time? Oh, why did Brandy come to my Brandy? I'm gonna stick with it.
Stick with it. Stick with it.
Brandy.
To the E to the best book you ever read.
14 Secrets to Better Parenting.
Who was that? Who wrote that?
I gotta get it for you. I almost brought it with me, but that really helped me. And so we'll talk about that later, because I will have that as a book reading. That'll be our first book reading club.
So
book that we go through.
That we go through.
It really blessed me.
We got some plugs at the end. Most delicious meal you've ever made?
It would be a tie between lasagna. That's my favorite food.
You know what you do?
Lasagna and white chicken chili. That's my new favorite food. Don't make that face. Look at her. You gotta try it. I gotta bring you some. It's amazing. It's amazing. White chicken chili.
Who gave you the recipe?
I don't know. I think I heard somebody say it, and I Googled it.
Okay.
And so I printed it out. It's not like it's all up here. No, I follow them directions.
Okay.
No.
We got the. Yeah, I want to try the white chicken chili.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you some.
That's hilarious. Family dream vacation.
I want to go to Europe so bad, and I want to visit London so bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. I got to think for accents.
Okay, she got to think. If you could model your family after any family, what family would that be?
Model after any family? What would that be?
If any.
I don't think so. I like where we are. We're steady growing.
Okay.
So I don't. girls, people that we thought with some scandals came out. So
Scandals.
No.
Okay.
I ain't got none.
I love that because sometimes we don't have a role model in family. We create our own, and
Yeah.
we just create a blueprint for other families. So if you had $1 million, how would you spend it?
Ooh, I would invest.
Invest.
I would get debt free.
Debt free.
Yeah, I would invest it probably in real estate, learn Bitcoin. That's how I would spend it. It wouldn't be like going out and buy a car that costs $700,000 and I only
Meanwhile.
got a few thousand left. That's not what I'm gonna do with my coins.
That's so funny because that's what I would do. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. But it's just funny. Like, we don't even think that big sometimes. We're shocked when someone says, what would you do with $1 million? Meanwhile, our God owns everything. So we all need to get real comfortable getting asked the question. So when we get it, we already have an answer. It's coming. Matter of fact, where's my suitcase? So who is your role model?
Who is my role model? Right now, I would have to say First Lady at my church.
Okay.
Why? Because I love how meek she is, but she's powerful and she's strong, baby. So I love that because right now I'm working on being strong, but not coming off strong. You know what I mean? And watching what I say. I love a woman that's just like, she's confident in where she is, how she is, and how she operates. I love that about her because her husband and her family respects her still.
I love it. There's so much diversity in a woman's strength. And I love that we can find women that we can identify ourselves in. All right, last question, I think. If you had to dress to impress, what are you wearing head to toe? You can go wherever you like. What you wearing?
Oh, see, I have on a dress today, but I really love a nice suit, a nice blazer with some heels, and maybe a hat, girl, because I'm into hats right now. I don't know why, but a nice suit.
Hats, honey. Okay.
Tailor suit.
Favorite person in the world?
Favorite person in the world? My husband.
Exactly.
I love my man.
Don't man. Greatest lesson you've ever learned?
To be patient and kind to myself.
That'll preach right there, y'all. Okay. Yeah. This is our last part of the show, and I'm so sad. Because it's so good. I feel like I feel like
I just said it.
I know. It's like two girlfriends just chilling and hanging out. So this segment is a footprint. This is the part of the show where you have 1 minute or more, because don't nobody ever do the 1 minute, to leave your mark on the world. It can be a phrase, a life mantra, a scripture that you would like to say or explain to our audience. But if they got nothing else, which I'm sure you got more than that, but if you got nothing else from this show, I want you to get this. So go ahead, look at that camera right there. Glasses. Fix the glasses, girl, and tell the world and leave your footprint.
I would like to say parent with purpose. Your kids are already seeking your approval. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of having their ear and them wanting to have your approval. And I'm going to read a scripture from the Bible in Proverbs 22:6. It's from the English Standard Version, and it reads, "Train up a child in the way that he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it." The secret to that is being consistent. Being consistent with training up your kids. So put that into practice. Thank you, Qatar, for this opportunity.
Of course, my girl. I cannot thank you enough, Jazmine, for coming and sharing and unlocking, I think, and challenging us all to be better parents. And don't forget that dispatching business, because she is doing both. I appreciate every person for joining in and chilling with us. I hope something we discussed sparked a big fire in you to do it scared. And remember this, you don't have to have all the answers. A yes starts your journey. So keep going. And remember this, there will always be more people for you than against you. And I just found 2 new people that are rooting for your success in God. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Kitara Gray Show. And until next time, bye.
Bye.